Cheers, gentlemen. This is the final installment of Confiding with the Commish, episode 7. I am here with the team manager of Team Calendar, Asa in the flesh. We got a super big episode for you boys. Probably the biggest one yet. A lot of work went into it. And we talked about it. We're going to save it for the end because it is spicy. So without further ado, I think we should just jump right into this week, seeing as it is a very spicy week.
It's a spicy week, boys. A lot going on. Lots been happening. And we have decided the calendar. First and foremost, I want to congratulations to myself. Congratulations to everybody else for... You're going to get a pretty sexy one, I imagine.
I'm excited. I thought, obviously, you don't want to be in last. You don't want to do the calendar. But of all people, it was coming down between you, John, and Austin I was worried about it. But he's a shy boy, I knew you were going to do a great job with this. I know you're going to do a great job with it. But yeah, how upset were you upset? What were you feeling when it hit you? Like, fuck, this is it.
It didn't feel great, Obviously, I fucked up. I very, very easily could have won the week. Fucking Kenny Pickett and Geno Smith, man.
Yeah, that was tough.
I put it on the line there, making that trade with Michael. And you know what? It really worked out for me.
It did.
Until it didn't. But hey, I put up 163. The other guy, my opponent, put up 177.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's just fantasy.
You would have beat everybody else, I believe, right? I think you would have literally beat anybody else.
Yes.
Those are the worst losses. Those are the most unlucky worst losses. But yeah, no, it's definitely tough. Going into next year, obviously it's the first year. Do you know where you fucked up? Like, any different strategies maybe going into the draft? Or do you look back and say, man, I screwed it here. I did this, I did that.
I definitely didn't put enough emphasis on wide receivers. Could tell you that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a good pick in CeeDee Lamb, and then I kind of rolled the dice here and there. Jonathan Taylor in round 5.
Yep.
Looking back, not a great pick, considering he didn't even come back full force. And then as soon as he did,
yeah,
down and out.
Did not help that Zach Moss just turned it up in his absence, and then they were like, shoot, who do we run here?
Yep.
Yeah, I feel that.
But and then also, I feel like one of the things that killed me right from the get-go too was I wasn't hot enough on the waiver wire from the jump. I missed that first week fire sale, watching the guys play well. Yeah. And I missed out on some studs.
Yeah, we had some huge ones. I mean, Puka was a big one that Tanner threw his wad at and snagged him. But yeah, for sure, it does suck. Someone's got to come in last, but. Next year would be pretty different. I would be very surprised if the same person came in last twice in a row.
Fingers crossed.
You'll be enjoying. I'm sure not doing the punishment next year. But anyway, so I guess I'll lead you. This week is huge for playoff implications here. Me and Coys are locked, barring a stat correction for Coys. But then we got this crazy group of 4. We got Snow Bunnies. Baked Vet, Alan D. Jens, and Touch of Downs that are all right there. Any of those 4 can make the 3rd and 4th spot. You got any predictions on who you think will be in our playoffs?
Man, let me tell you, this Baked Veteran team is hot right now. They are playing well. It's going to be tough to see, that more than a Thielen team can really put up some points when they want to. But I'm gonna have a spicy pick here, and I'm gonna say. Touch of Downs makes it in with the 4th seed. Touch of Downs makes it in with the 4th.
Okay, so do you think it means you got Snow Bunnies hanging on to that 3rd seed, huh?
I got Snow Bunnies hanging on to the 3rd seed. I think it's going to happen.
I like it. Well, shoot. I kind of dig that prediction a little bit. I'm sure Alan, DeGens, and Touch of Downs aren't going to like that, but that's fantasy football, baby. Let's just get right into the predictions. We'll save that mega matchup for last here, but let's do it. We got Snow Bunnies versus Middleburg football team. I'll throw up the box score right here so we could take a dabble. Since Asa and I did spend a lot of time on the second portion of this video, we're both going into these live. Neither of us did notes on predictions or anything, so you're seeing it live, baby.
And oh my God.
Yeah.
Middleburg football team, if you didn't start off the year hot, you would have been in this same position as me, buddy. We're bottom feeders right now. Honestly, I think you're even more than a bottom feeder than I am. This team has been doo-doo. But hey.
I agree with you. And I don't think it's because he drafted a bad team. I mean, he got unlucky with the Anthony Richardson injury and whatnot, but he made some like really, really bad trades looking back, you know. Traded for Justin Jefferson too hot, thinking he was going to get in the playoffs. Way too early to do that. And then when he had the option to trade either Puka or Cooper Kupp, he chose the wrong guy. He kept Cooper Kupp and traded Puka.
Yep.
So it's some bad mistakes that happened for Middleburg football team. Real unfortunate.
A lot of blame goes on to Austin for the trade he made with Michael. But Tanner's was the first one that set him on that path of just destruction.
Yeah. No, it is true.
Jinx, knock on wood.
That's so true. I didn't even think of that. It's once again, every league needs a villain, and I think Michael's filling that role.
Oh, absolutely.
Filling that role, baby.
Absolutely. Man, this fucking guy, he's a snake. He's a snake oil salesman. You know? He's
got that snake tongue for sure. But regardless, I think, without talking about it any further, I got Snow Bunnies winning this one. And that's fair. I think this would lock in Snow Bunnies for the playoffs, whether that's third or fourth seed. I don't think if Bake Vet doesn't win, I think he's locked into third seed regardless. So, yeah, so give me Snow Bunnies. Sorry, Middleburg football team. Then we got Riggy Riggs, Alan D. Jens. A kind of spicy matchup big matchup for Al. This is a must-win game for Al. Kind of a meaningless game for Riggy Riggs at this point because even if he loses, I think he's got you by points scored.
Yep.
By a fair margin. So yeah, kind of a nothing burger for Riggy Riggs, but huge for Allen. And looking at the lineups and the squads. You know, it's crazy to say this, but I think this is going to be a dominant performance by Allen, just looking at the matchups here.
Yeah.
Kansas City against Gabe Davis, Devonta Smith against Dallas. I don't love that. Debo against Seattle, he'll probably make noise. But other than that, I mean, Tyreek Hill's going to feast on Tennessee.
That's all he does.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
Saquon's probably going to have a big game against Green Bay since this is a must-win for the Giants to even stay alive. Texans D against the Jets offense. That's going to give you 15 points minimum right there. Yeah, I got Al D. Gents. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Al's D. Gents too. You know, it's tough. Pretty lackluster in the quarterbacks, but I think the rest of the team makes up for it, you know?
Yeah. Those wide receivers are scary.
They are scary.
First to seventh, and then, I mean, Calvin Ridley isn't nothing crazy, but he has the ability to go off.
He does. He's a good flex.
Yeah.
He's a very solid
Sam Laporta,
flex.
The third tight end. I mean, he's stacked. Aside from the quarterbacks, if you cover the quarterbacks up, the rest of the squad's looking decent. But yeah, so Alan D. Jones. So far, we are equal 2 for 2. Let's back her up here. Then we got moving on, Baked Vet versus More Than a Thielen. Another kind of big matchup, More Than Thielen, a nothing burger for, but Baked Vet, a huge matchup for, because if he loses and either, again, if Touch of Downs or Al wins, they got him by points, and they're in the playoffs. He is not. You already talked about it before. More Than Thielen he can score points.
Mm-hmm.
And but you also said Baked Vet's on a tear.
Baked Vet's been playing well. The boys are balling. But then again, here's the thing. It's hard to put up that kind of consistency week in and week out.
It's true.
I don't think Nico Collins is going to have another 30-piece.
No.
But then again, Patty Mahomes probably isn't only going to put up 13 again.
Very true.
We'll see how it plays out. I think this one's going to come down to the wire. I think we're going to be looking at a sweater. A.J. Brown Sunday at 8 o'clock. That's going to be a big game.
The make or break, you think?
I think it's going to come down to how well A.J. Brown does.
Do they have any Monday games? So they got Jordan Love and then the Dolphins.
Dolphins defense on Monday?
Yeah, I think that A.J. Brown game, we're going to see how much separation he can get for Jordan Love, because Jordan Love's been cooking. I'm nervous for that football game. And Trevor Lawrence being banged up at the end of that last Monday night game is a little nerve-wracking for the boy, but I digress. I'm going Baked Vet on this one. I think it is going down to the... I might even give it Game of the Week here. I'm going Baked Vet.
Game of the Week. I would agree that it's Game of the Week. This is one that people are going to have their most eyes on, pretty sure. I certainly will be. But I'm going to go with More Than a Thielen.
I like it. All right, first First different prediction of the day. Moving on. Another huge matchup. Especially if Coys gets that stat correction, which I know it's a running joke now because it's probably not going to happen. That would be insane. But if it does, this is the game of the week easily because that's playoffs written all over it. So let's get right into that. This is going to be a spicy one. Touchdowns, Coys. Touchdowns team is looking fierce though. I mean, his quarterback's sexy. CeeDee Lamb, and then just. The running back 5 is his flex. That's crazy. That's just crazy to me. Ravens D against the Rams, you know.
Brothers are projected to put up 41 without anybody in his wide receiver.
Doesn't even have another wide receiver too. Where's his?
He doesn't have anybody on his team.
Let me get the bench here. He's got T. Higgins he could throw in, I suppose, or Josh Downs, but that's shit. Not a whole lot going on for him. So maybe that's if Coys wins, that could be the reason why.
Yeah.
Starting A-Chain is kind of scary because that boy's been proven to just be banged up nonstop. Where's his? Ugh.
Well, Brody didn't trust him, and then he popped off this last week. 25.
That's true.
Because when he's playing, he's putting up numbers, man.
Yep.
He's putting up numbies.
Yeah,
Dude's so fucking fast.
It is crazy. You just don't want... So he's got 4 games over 20 points and then 2 games under 2 points. Yeah. So there is a risk there, but, chances are he's going to be looking okay. Let me go back out to this overview.
I think he's going to be a guy to look at.
Yeah.
Very, very heavily. Not only this weekend, but next year too. I think there's going to be a lot of people taking him high up in the draft if he proves that he can stay healthy.
I could see that. Another thing I'm not nervous about, but for Coys, I mean, Travis Kelce has been quite quiet these past couple weeks. I can see him having himself a big game here against Buffalo. Big implications on the game. Yep. They kind of got that pseudo rivalry going on. I could see Travis Kelce having himself a day.
I do too. Buffalo not great against.
Buffalo's look just lackluster in general this year, which is wild. I expected if the Madden curse was going to get him, I just expected a Josh Allen injury. I didn't expect them just to implode the way they imploded. But, who knows? Especially with Stephon Diggs potentially leaving. It's a weird situation over in Buffalo.
Yes, it is.
But, so who you got here? Coy's touchdowns. Huge matchup.
This is a coin flip, man. Both teams able to put up a lot of points. And both teams, honestly, I think I'm going to go with touchdowns here. Because I think that Brody's team is more likely to put up stinkers than touchdowns.
I can see that.
I think even if Michael's team doesn't perform up to its projected value, he's still going to get guys that either pop off to even it out. But then again, I'm one of the biggest Russell Wilson haters out there. And the dude might just put up a fat nothing burger.
Right. But he is versus the Chargers defense, who, granted, they shut out the Jets, but aside from that, they are a horrendous defense. Yeah. But, all right, that's fair. So you're going touchdowns. I was thinking of doing the same, but I'm going to go Coys just to be a little contrarian. A little contrarian. So give me Coys, touchdowns, Coys, and then we got the final matchup, the biggest matchup, the hugest matchup, and I know matchups. This is a huge matchup. We got Team Calendar versus yours truly, Captain Commish. Now, I know what everyone's thinking. You're 3-10. You're the calendar model. But you did say something that I thought was very accurate early on. That trade helped you a lot. Your team is so much more balanced out now with Ayuk starting there. You got Jared Goff in the lineup. Still rocking Kenny Pickett. I'm imagining you're going to take him out, seeing as he's banged up.
Yeah.
So your team, you just dropped 160-something. It's nothing to, I'm catching you hot here. Granted, I'm already locked in the playoffs, so I'm not uber worried about losing to you. But if I'm going to lose to you, this is the week. The stars look like they're aligning, and I got a feeling you could do something spicy here.
That's what we're hoping for.
That being said, I'm going Cat McMish.
That's fair. I think I'm going to give it to you as well.
Okay.
Not to rain on my own parade, but every time I think I'm going to have a good week, something happens.
Yeah. I feel that.
Something happens. But, man, if I had made that trade with Michael just a couple of weeks earlier...
You've been sitting all right.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, when you were down bad, I think you were on like a 5 or 6 game losing streak or something wild like that. I was surprised you didn't take one of your big hitters and just trade them in for a crop of average guy. You know what I mean? Just to fill some holes. Well, which is what you did.
I did that twice. I think I did it multiple times. I did it with Brody, trading away Tua.
Yep.
That worked out slightly for me. It didn't really put me over the hump. And then that trade didn't work out because Deshaun Watson got hurt.
Yep.
I needed to fill that gap. Didn't want Kenny Pickett in there.
Yep.
That's for fucking sure. And then so I made a trade with
Michael, right?
With Jacob. I made a trade with Snow Bunnies.
And that was for the running back from the Colts, right? That was the one that had Jonathan Taylor in it.
I gave him JT and Najee Harris, and I got... Oh, fuck. I got Gino in that and somebody else in there, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly, but...
And they ended up not working out.
Gino got hurt that same fucking week that he got in, It's just, I made these trades, selling off somebody a little bit higher up to get somebody else to fill in the spot. A crop
of a couple, like 2 dudes, a little worse value, yeah. Honestly, like you did say, you maybe weren't hottest. You weren't, like, super active on the waiver wire early on, but... You did start clawing tooth and nail to get back into it towards the end with the amount of trading you were doing. And trades that were like, you got to do these things because it might not, like on paper, if you didn't know shit about the standings of the teams, you're like, why would someone trade that? But with they're in your position, you're trying to fill holes and stuff. The stuff does make sense what you were doing.
Yeah.
It's just, it didn't work out for you, unfortunately. So, yeah, I went through the playoff stats. Oh, I guess now that we went through the predictions, I do want to talk about something that was super hot in the group messages today, and that's the big stipulation of top points for a team going on to the 6th wild card seed, or just having the 6th most winningest teams go through. Figured I'd get your thoughts on that because that is the talk of the day, it seems.
Man, I'm all for it. I think it's a spicy meatball in that wild card. I also don't really care all that much either way.
I feel you on that.
As a man who's not in the position of that I would be losing it out, I haven't really been able to, put myself in that position, feel those emotions that somebody like,
Al or somebody.
Al's feeling, Steven's feeling, that's tough. That's tough.
I totally agree with you. I do think, I've been thinking about it a lot, and when we get to 12 people, I do think maybe I could do something where the first round team, maybe even the first and second, do have buys, and switch it from instead of 2 games, you go to 1 game, add the bye, and that way, the top points for team isn't versing the 1 seed right off, because I just don't see that as fair to the 1 seed. You earn the 1 seed, you should verse the worst playoff team in the playoffs, not the top scoring juggernaut in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think that little giving a bye would make that actually a pretty decent idea, and we'll vote on it. We'll do when we get together for the trophy ceremony. We'll vote on that in person when everyone's there. It's not over text and it's weird. You got to go back and So, that is up for discussion. So, right, fair enough.
You think the new guys are going to have a say in that?
Yeah, they're going to have... Well, I feel like they shouldn't they? And that's the problem. I mean, I could invite them to the trophy ceremony because I want to have it... The thing is, I want to have all the rules in place before the next draft. So it's not like... Oh, I didn't know... You know what I mean? I didn't know this was a keeper. Type shit. So, I want to get that shit done. So maybe I could... Or I could just... I text those guys each and say, hey, what's your votes on these 2? We're bringing it up. You're not quite invited. You're not in the league yet. You're not invited. But we will take your vote. Maybe that's something I'll do. But fair enough. Last thing before we get into our big event, I do want to just go over my power rankings. This was really hard to do because just the way the season's going, those top 5 spots are so hard to say who I got above who when it comes to like Al, Baked Vet, Snow Bunnies, Coys, Touchdowns. You know what I mean? Not so much Coys, but so anyway, I got this from first to last, I got myself, number 1. I got Big Fet going up to 2, actually. Snow Bunnies 3, Coy's 4, Allen 5, Touchdown 6, More Than a Feeling 7, Middleburg Football Team 8, Riggy Riggs 9, Team Calendar at 10. And that's going to be the power rankings that don't mean anything that I feel the need to say every week. And then without further ado,
I'd put myself above Middleburg Football Team in power rankings.
I probably would too. If everything was regular standings, that would be a completely different list right now. I don't think I'd be number 1 right now. There's teams that are just blowing my doors in points wise, but I do add record in as a factor. So gentlemen, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Myself and Asa decided that we wanted to do a full 2023 TCC draft recap. We both did it a little differently. I'll get in, once I'm done explaining, I'll have Asa explain the way how he did it, and I'll explain the way I did it, and then we'll just jive off each other, you know what I mean? So, yeah, we pretty much just went through all the picks, gave them, I'll do how I did it first, I'm already talking, right? I went through every single pick for every single team, 17 rounds, and gave it a letter grade from F-. I did add F- in there. I don't know if anybody got F-, up to A+, and I rated them as follows: A+ equals 100, A 95, A 90, A- 92, B+ 89, B 85, B- 82, C+ 79, C 75, C- 72, D+ 69, D 65, D- 60, F+ 58, F 55, F- 50. And I did that for every pick, and then averaged it together to have a final who had the best draft. So, how do you do yours? Asa's is far more intricate than mine.
So, what I did is I took the data of all scoring output for each position, and I compared every pick's total scoring output to the average output of each position. For quarterbacks, tight ends, defenses, and kickers, I used the average of the top 32 players. For running backs and wide receivers, I used the top 50. And this was based on points through week 12. I did it on Sunday night, so not all the points were in yet, so get off my dick. And you might be surprised how this turns out. What I did is I took it and I used those averages and I used those total points and I generated this this statistic that I called PAM. It's called points above the mean.
Nice. That's nice.
What's your PAM at, bro? There you go. It's like the LeBron true shooting percentage.
I like that.
Value over replacement
This
player.
guy's getting into advanced analytics.
It's big money ball vibes out in here. Okay? And the way that I graded each pick, I didn't do
like a letter grading
a
system.
tiered grading.
Okay.
I just did it was a good pick for its position or a bad pick for its position.
Right on.
Where it was in the draft, specifically what round. And the results might shock you.
I like
They
that.
really might.
I dig that a lot. So also for mine, I also added, in the position of the drafting. So if you got an A+ on a pick in the 12th round, that means probably the value was outstanding for that pick. And obviously, this was all. I did it by position rankings and average scoring and stuff, but this is all also a lot of it is personal, not prejudices, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's personal preferences and a lot of it too. But yeah, you want to go through. Let's go through the first round together, right?
Let's go through the first roround. Start it off hot.
All right, let's start off hot. So, Baked Vet did have the first pick with Patty Mahomes, and I did give that a B+.
The numbers don't lie, Thor. Yeah. Patty Mahomes was not a good pick at number 1.
I know, yeah. So, I totally agree with you because I think he's QB 9 or 10 right now. Was not a great pick for the first pick. That's why I didn't give it the A+ or whatever, but it's still Patty, he's still a solid pick. Maybe I'd move that down to a B-, I guess, for pick 1. And I think I did that as I started going through this. I was a little more harsh on where the pick was, but that was literally the first one I did, so I was So that one may be a little rusty. I agree with you.
But hey, I can't blame him. Patty Mahomes usually puts up a hell of a season. Mm-hmm. He has definitely underperformed without Tyreek being there.
Yeah,
I think everybody saw that coming a little bit,
yeah.
but not quite as much as what's happened. I mean, the Chiefs are still in a great position, but hey.
I don't want to say Patty Mahomes was mid, but he was like a step above mid.
Yeah.
He was mid plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I got Captain Commish, and that was with a... Let me think here. How could we do this that it's quicker so we're not talking about every pick?
Okay, sure. I'm going to put this out here. The bad picks that I have in this round are somewhat obvious here, but some aren't. Justin Jefferson, don't blame you for taking that one, Michael, but hey, it didn't work out for you. That's a bad pick. Jamar Chase. Bad pick. He didn't play up to his standards this year. He really didn't. His PAM per week was 3.9. So Jamar Chase scored only 3.9 points each week above the average wide receiver.
Out of the top 50, out of 50,
out
right?
of 50. Out of the top 50 scoring through week 12.
That's not good.
The average points above the mean per week for round number 1 was 4.3.
Yeah.
And that includes negative numbers from Jefferson and Cooper Kupp. So if we took out Cooper Kupp having negative 6.7 and Justin Jefferson having negative 3.8, that pick would look even worse moving forward, man.
I do dig that. So, yeah, okay. How about going forward? I'll do my top 3 best picks, top 3 worst picks, and then you pretty much, because that's kind of almost how yours is set up, bad picks and great picks, right?
Yeah.
So, let's rock it like that. So, I'll then, like you said, so top 3 worst picks I had were touch of downs, Justin Jefferson. I gave you a C-. I get Middleburg football team having Cooper Kupp. I gave that a D+. And then my next worst one, let's see, I guess would be a tie. Nope, never mind. It'd be Austin, a B, Jamar Chase.
Yep.
And I'm assuming yours, like you said, pretty close.
Pretty dang close. That's pretty. Yeah. My worst pick of round 1 was Cooper Kupp.
Right on. Yeah, that's what I had too.
No doubt about it. I want to give a special shout out to Brody for taking a tight end in round 1. That's a spicy meatball. I'm glad it's worked out for you. You've had a good season, but boy, that's a spicy pick.
I did give, I guess then without further, I'll do the top 3 best. I got myself, Jalen Hurts, Snow Bunnies, drafting Josh Allen, and Allen drafting Tyreek Hill out of the gens are the top 3 best.
Absolutely.
Sam, look at that. We're cooking now.
Points don't lie.
Off to round 2, baby.
Christian McCaffrey. What a pick at number 11. I think a lot of people were kind of worried that he was going to
get hurt.
Yep. I certainly was. I remembered saying it to Brody very much. And hey, the guy I think he's my MVP. Brock Purdy, he's a great quarterback, but man, he is not an MVP candidate the way Christian McCaffrey is.
I feel that. I gave that Christian McCaffrey pick an A+.
A++,
that was an A+ pick. Another A+ pick that round goes to team touch of downs. Where's he have? He had Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott. And I remember we clowned him out of the room so bad. We laughed at him when he picked Dak Prescott in the second round.
And then they got hot.
And how it worked out, baby. God, it worked out. And then I had a tie for the third best pick of the second round between myself and Asa. I ended up picking Justin Herbert, who gave me pretty good value, and then Asa ended up picking Derrick Henry. Were tied for third best.
I'm giving you Justin Herbert as number 3.
Fair enough.
Over my pick with Derrick Henry.
What about what do we got for 3 worst?
The 3 worst, Nick Chubb obviously got hurt. That just sucks, man. What can you do? Second worst is Justin Fields. That was definitely
got an F for me.
Didn't
there as well.
Yeah, didn't really like that in round 2. But and Joe Burrow, really unfortunate there too. He was somewhat productive when he was playing. I can only say somewhat because he had some stinkers there in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But he was not above average.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. He was not above average.
So I did lie. I did not give Riggy Riggs an F on the Justin Fields. I gave him a C- on that, but he did have the second worst draft in round 2. And then it was a 2-way... Oh, never mind. Middleburg football team, yeah, I gave him a D for the Joe Burrow. So, yeah, we've lined up exactly ideally for the first 2 rounds.
I'm going to throw a little interesting tidbit out there. Round 2, 6 out of the 10 picks in round 2 were negative.
Really?
Negative, yep. Just based on the numbers.
Let me guess if I could get them on based on what I got. I got Baked Vet having one of those.
Baked Vet, negative, yep.
I got Touch of Downs.
Yep.
Austin.
Oh, no. Wait. Touch of Downs was good. Dak
I'm sorry, Austin. My things are on Austin and Riggy Riggs, not Touch of Downs and Austin.
Yep.
And then Allen.
Yep.
So those were my 4 worst. And you said there were 6?
There were 6.
So then Middleburg football team, and would it be Snow Bunnies?
Devontae Adams.
Those are my those were in a row. My worst. Let's go.
Devontae Adams, yes. Definitely. I mean, hey, he didn't have anybody throwing him the ball that it could.
Yeah. The second round killed us, huh?
Yeah.
All right, round 3. Whew.
Round 3. Number 1 pick in round 3, CeeDee Lamb.
Yep, I got you A+.
Yep.
A+ for CeeDee Lamb. You were my top of round 3 as well.
Not even close. It's by a mile.
My number 2, though, was Josh Jacobs' Touch of Downs.
Ooh, okay. I like that. I had Stephon Diggs.
That was my number 3.
Yep. And Stephon Diggs or Josh Jacobs was my number 3.
Right on.
You know.
What you got for 3 worst here?
Obviously, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of hysterical how he went out.
You got enough
Love
of that one.
You know, just fucking hate to see it. But honestly, I'm going to give Daniel Jones the worst pick.
Alan D. Jens is another F I got for him right there, too.
You know, at least Daniel Jones played, but, man, you were on some shit with that pick.
Yeah, it was tough. And then my 3rd worst was Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins going to More Than a Feeling.
Yep.
Right on. What do you got for the best for the 3?
Best for 3, we did CD, Stephon.
Oh, yeah, we already did that. You're right. Round 4, then. Best for the 4.
Best for 4. TJ.
Yep, that was my only A+.
TJ was your only A+?
Yep.
Would you give Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Amon-Ra St. Brown. That was Allen. A.
A? Okay. Yep. That works. That sounds about right.
And then the only other A I had for the 3rd round was to Baked Vet, Joe Mixon.
With Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon, you know, before last night, he wasn't, his numbers weren't so great, but man, he's fucking turned up the heat, man. Cincinnati looked good last night.
Man, Joe Mixon's got to be top 10, 6.
He bumped up from, at the time of my rankings, he was in number 17.
Ooh,
so obviously, you know, like I said, week 12, you don't have all the data there.
Right.
But man, he jumped up a bunch. I mean, fucking DK Metcalf, he went from...
Yeah, that 1 week.
He had 37 points, and he jumped up the rankings like crazy.
Yep. So what you got for the 3 worst then? Since it seems like, well, did we align there? Did you have Joe Mixon as your 3rd best, or do you have somebody else?
I actually had Tony Pollard. Tony
Middleburg
Pollard
football team
came out as number 3.
Right on. Yeah, he was that'd be my 4th. I gave Tony Pollard pick B+, and the Joe Mixon an A.
Okay.
For my 3 worst though, my worst was let's see, it was Touch of Downs, I believe.
With T. Higgins.
Yep, F.
You know, T. Higgins, he's a good wide receiver, but between Joe Burrow being hurt and just them not having a great year, that sucks, man. He did not perform.
Did not. And then my 2nd worst was Coys having a Deshaun Watson pick.
Yep.
And my 3rd worst was a tie between Snow Bunnies and myself. I picked Darren Waller. I gave me a C. And Snow Bunnies picked Geno Smith, which I also gave a C.
I'm saying it. Deebo Samuel.
Deebo Samuel, you had 3rd worst?
3rd worst. Yep.
Oh, that's crazy, I feel like.
Yeah.
Let me see. I mean, I know he's been banged up a lot.
He's been banged
up. That doesn't help him, but them average points, I look at the 15, 25. Yeah, I can see it. I can see the argument. It is 4th round.
It's fourth
You're going to
round.
want a little more production out of your fourth-round pick.
Exactly, and then you got to look at who else is up there.
Yeah.
We got the number how many top 10 ranked guys are in this? I mean, Tony Pollard was, Amon-Ra St. Brown, T.J. Hawkinson, Joe Mixon's up there now.
Tony Pollard,
I don't know what
still
two
might be. Oh, he's 11.
He's 11 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some good picks up there.
Yeah.
And for how Debo has performed this year, he just doesn't stack up with the other guys.
I respect that, actually. Now, looking at it, and given that last week Debo just had, that bumped him up so crazy much. So, yeah, I think I would agree with your numbers more than mine on that one.
And is Debo still on Riggy Riggs?
Yep.
He only started playing well when it didn't really matter for you, John.
That is the worst.
Sorry.
So, moving on, round 5. Who you got for...
Lots of stinkers here, fellas.
Lots of stinkers. So, I have my top 3. I got 1 and 2 were tied, 2 A+. Captain Commish, Keenan Allen.
Yep.
And touch of downs grabbed Travis Etienne.
What a pick,
both
round
A+.
What a pick, round 5. For both of those.
Yeah.
For both of those picks.
For sure.
I don't think anybody really saw them having the seasons that they did.
No. I remember when I grabbed Keenan Allen, somebody, I can't remember who, someone was like, that's kind of a stretch, don't you think? He's old. I was like, yeah. Honestly, I remember I had Justin Herbert. I was like, I want to pair these two dudes together.
Mm-hmm.
And then my third highest would be Riggy Riggs grabbing Mark Andrews.
Yep.
Down the money?
Down the money.
Right on, baby.
We are in agreement on that.
What are your 3 worst?
Aaron Jones racking it in at the worst pick of round 5.
Equal to me as well. I gave it a D. That is my worst pick as well.
Jonathan Taylor, second worst. And then we got Jalen Waddle rounding it up.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually I had you exactly correct up till my third worst is actually Coy's drafting Najee Harris. I gave that a C-, and I gave Waddle a C+.
Okay.
So pretty close, though.
Yeah.
And then we got round 6. Who you I only have 1 A+ this round.
A+. That's got to be George Kittle.
It is not. I gave him an A.
You gave him an A? So A+ is Kamara?
Alvin Kamara was my A+. Alvin Kamara
you know
is the running back 2, I think, right now. And he missed 3 weeks.
He missed 3
That's how good he's been.
Yeah, no, he's been phenomenal. He really has been phenomenal. I got him in another one of my leagues, and I've been riding him into the sunset.
No, he's 4.
He's number 4. Yeah, the guy's had a great season. He's lucky that he's had Derek Carr and Jameis Winston throwing him the ball because they can't throw it more than 5 yards downfield anyway. It's just when it works out, it works out.
That's so true.
Not to mention he's just a beast.
But yeah, exactly. But those were my top 2 were Riggy Riggs with Alvin Kamara, Snow Bunnies with George Kittle, and did I have any? There's like a 5-way tie between Coy's Middleburg football team, Austin, and touch of downs.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so pretty much equal there. What do you got for the worst?
Al's Degenerates. Damian Pierce. Stinker of the season. And then I got that pretty on par with the Miles Sanders pick, Captain Commish.
Dude, straight up. So my round 6 worst pick goes to Captain Commish. I had Miles Sanders at a D-, with Allen's pick, like you just said. Where the heck is he? With Damian Pierce being the second worst with just a solid D.
Yeah.
And then I had the third worst goes to Team Calendar, C-, Amari Cooper.
Yeah. Yeah. Amari Cooper did not have a very good season, did he?
His quarterback situation did not help the boy.
Nope.
We're going to round 7 here. What do you got for the 3 best on your round 7?
3 best round 7. There really wasn't too much to talk about here in round 7.
Real rough round.
This was the first round that we've had where where the average PAM was negative. Negative 2.7. We shit the bed this round, fellas.
Round 7 was tough.
Round 7 was tough.
I do have 2 A's, though.
Round 7, 2 A's, gotta be DJ Moore and Mike Evans.
Exactly!
Gotta be. Good seasons for both of them. DJ Moore, up and down, but hey, he put up a lot of points.
Volatile player to a volatile team, maybe?
Absolutely. Infuriating. I've got him on one of my teams, and every time you think he's going to have a good week, he doesn't, and then when you expect him not to,
2 tutties, 150 yards.
Big numbies.
Yep. I didn't have any. The next highest other than those 2 A's was a B.
For whomst?
It was to myself, Captain Commish, D-Hop.
D-Hop, yep. D-Hop had a respectable season for himself.
Just a B, nothing crazy. You know, it's like he's going to be great for the bench. Not someone, you know, you get trade value, you get a lot of stuff out of him. Yep. Maybe not an every week starter, but you could throw him in there.
Yep, pretty fine pick for round 7, I'd have to say.
What you got for the worst?
Mike Williams, Riggy Riggs.
Mike Williams, Riggy Riggs. I gave it an F. I got 2 F. Oh wait, no, this is round 7. Yep, I did give it an F. Yep.
We've got 3 players worthy of Fs here.
Let me see if are the other 2 Middleburg football team and calendar.
Yes, right on. Absolutely.
We did not get together before this. This
not
is awesome. At all. I'm super glad our numbers are adding up here. Middleburg football team with the pick of Anthony Richardson.
Got hurt.
That's tough. And then you had calendar with Christian Watson, who just didn't do anything pretty much all season except for last week.
And now it's the same Debo situation. I mean, Debo obviously had a better overall season, but Christian Watson, 2 weeks in a row, he's putting up 20+.
Yeah.
He's getting hot.
Something you really wanted early on.
Yeah.
That is the worst. So, yep, I had those 2 picks. And then did I have anything else on there that was bad? Baked Vet with Zeke Elliott I had as a D. He didn't do a whole lot for the boy.
No, he did not.
All right, moving on, round 8. What you got for the best? I do have 2 A+ in this round.
Oh, gotta be Rashad White. He has been...
Rashad White was one of them.
He's having a great year. Round 8.
Round 8, top 5 running back.
Round 8. He inflated this round's PAM score incredibly.
Oh, I bet.
He really did. He is one of 4 players that were positive. The other 3 were Kenneth Walker III, surprising. He had a bit of a disappointing season, but he was still positive. Justin Tucker and Evan Ingram.
Fair enough.
Obviously, Evan Ingram, he's had a pretty decent season, but Rashad White, great pick, round 8.
Great pick. Can you guess this one? Maybe was a stretch on my part, but I looked at the position rankings. Can you guess the other A+ I had in there for that round?
I can't. I don't know who else it would be other than Justin Tucker, maybe.
It was Evan Ingram, actually.
Evan Ingram? Okay.
Just for he went a little later. We've had a lot of tight ends already go off the board. Like I reached for Darren Waller, but Evan Ingram is tight end 5, and you got him.
He had a good week. He had a good game last night.
He had a really good game last night, so I gave that an A+. I mean, you got debatably a top 3 tight end at the end of the season for the 8th tight end off the board or whatever, which is solid. So what do you got for the worst picks?
Ugly round. Couple of really rough ones. Deontay Johnson,
I did give an F, yes.
Kenny Pickett,
I gave a D.
You gave a D. Mad respect to Kenny Pickett. Jerry Jeudy.
Who drafted him?
Coy's drafted Jerry Jeudy, and
I gave that a D.
he had a real shit season. No disrespect. Well, a little bit of disrespect. He had a shit season. What do you want from me?
That's mad funny.
Yeah, some real rough ones there.
So based on your stats, you had Justin Tucker a decent pick?
Justin Tucker was a decent pick for the round.
So this is...
But he was the first kicker to go in round 8, which the numbers don't factor that in.
Yeah.
Which is why there is a flaw in the system.
Yep. That's fair, because I was just about to put up... I gave Justin Tucker a very, very, very bad letter grade.
Yeah?
I gave it an F+.
Well, here's the thing. Justin Tucker put up 103 points. There were 1, 2, 3 players in this draft, in this round, that didn't even break 90. Okay? And then he almost outscored Kenny fucking Pickett, who's a quarterback.
Right. That's totally fair, I guess, looking at it that way. I just saw he's the first kicker off the board, and he's not even a top 5 kicker. He's kicker number 9.
Yeah.
So value-wise, you could have got, the guys that you could have got instead of Justin Tucker, you could have got your Rashad Whites. You could have got, even in the next rounds, you could get your Breece Halls. You could get Matt Stafford, David Montgomery, Isaiah Pacheco. The list goes on.
The list goes on.
And you picked the kicker who wasn't even close to the best kicker.
Well, then, so why, but then that goes for every round above it, like, okay, you took Jalen Hurts at number 2, but you could have had Josh Allen at number 1.
What was the scoring difference? 30 points?
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I just think the reason why I gave it the bad letter grade I did is because the next kicker off, I think, was Daniel Carlson.
Who had a shit season.
Who was not great.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was no kickers until round 10.
Yep.
So realistically, I think Riggy Riggs could have grabbed that guy in later rounds or something equal to or better, and I'm talking like 3 rounds later.
Yeah.
So that's why I gave it such a bad letter grade.
Yep. I can agree with that. I can agree with that sentiment.
But
there was a lot of good players that came off the boards rounds 9 and 10. Breece Hall for one.
Yep.
David Montgomery. Respectable for a guy that you get in round 9. See, here's the thing: we're getting into round 9. We're not looking at these guys and saying, "Wow, what a great."
This is like you're talking about either the last person starting on your squad or like, oh my god, fucking Coors Light's burping.
Somebody to throw in on a bye week.
Right, your bench or whatnot. So I didn't have a single A+ this round. My best was an A, a flat A, going to Middleburg football team with the Dolphins defense, actually. We've had some... I don't know if this was the first defense off the board or not. I don't think it was. Phillies was the reach.
And they shit the bed.
I did give Dolphins defense an A because I think they are defense number 2 right now. He didn't even draft them. I don't know where they are, but let's see.
Dolphins defense.
Oh. Dolphins are
number 5.
Number 5.
Yep, so they were number 8 prior to last week, so
I gave them
some
pretty
upward
good
mobility, but
right. And then I also gave my next highest was A- to Captain Commish. With 49ers defense, I think they are defense number 6.
Yep.
So that's why I gave that an Miami an A, me an A-. And then the next highest, do I have anything?
You didn't have Breece Hall?
Yeah, B+ going to touch of downs, Breece Hall, B+.
Good pickup there.
Yeah, it was my
top 3.
It's
a very solid pickup. You had a good season.
Yeah, the only bad ones I had Baked Vet with an F, grabbing Eagles defense.
Bad pick.
28th ranked defense, terrible pick. I had King Calendar with an F, picking up the kicker there. And the next worst was actually C+ going to Coys for Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, and round 10, baby. Last round on your PAM scale, correct?
Last round on the PAM scale.
Last round on the PAM scale.
Yeah, sorry guys, I didn't do the PAM for all 17 rounds. Took a little while.
I think we all know what the best pick of round 10 was.
Cowboys defense.
It was Cowboys defense, baby. Dallas D going to Coys, A+ pick. And then I had I did have another A in there.
DeAndre Swift. What did you say?
Was it round 10?
Round 10 was very, very solid for the league. A couple of stinkers, but DeAndre Swift's in there.
I gave Swift an A-. The A I picked was the Jets D going to Riggy Riggs.
Jets D going to Riggy Riggs. Okay. Yep. I get that. They had a great season.
In round 10, pretty late pick, a lot of defense off the board, and you pick, they got to be top something, right?
Yeah. They were one of the last defenses that people were picking. There wasn't another defense picked for...
Jets are, ranked 4 defense that late. I thought that warranted an A.
Browns in round 12 at 113 was the next defense pick.
And I'll tell you what, that had to do pretty decent.
Yeah.
Browns D, Allen D, Jens got. I gave that an A+, baby. That was a good pick, Al.
Good pick.
But yeah, for the final rounds here, we got quite a bit of rounds. I'll just go through my A+, and then you could go through your gems, I suppose.
Yeah.
So the rest of my A+, for round 11, I gave 0 A+.
You wouldn't give Isaiah Pacheco an A+ for round 11?
I gave Isaiah Pacheco an A, and I gave Jake Elliott an A, and then Touch of Downs had an A- there with Myers.
Okay.
Other than that, those were the highest scorings. The only F I gave was Coy's Graham Gano on round 11. Round 12, I did give an A+, going to Alan DeGens with Browns D, which I spoke on.
Brian Robinson Jr.'s got to be an A+. Bro.
He got it. I gave him an A. Honestly, I should maybe change that to an A+, how late it is.
Yeah.
You know, like with the value-wise, he traded him away to Riggy Riggs, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Because what is he at right now? Is he top 10?
He was number 5 last week.
Number 8.
So
yeah, that should be
8.
an A+. So I did give. I will give A+ to Baked Vet there. And then I had an A- going to Team Calendar. And that was for the Bills D, who've played pretty well.
Here's the thing. They had some really good scores, and then everything else was just very mid at best.
So they were pretty volatile.
They were very volatile. I mean, they started off really hot, put up 30 points, I think, week 1 or week 2. I can't remember which one it was. And then all their key defensive players just got hurt.
Yeah.
Matt Milano going down, that really hurts for him. And obviously now Von Miller, the fuck's he doing?
Yeah, I
Wife
know. He's
beater.
beating up chicks. Pregnant chicks.
Pregnant chicks.
Round 13, I had 3 A+. Captain Commish, Snow Bunnies, and Allen Middleburg football team.
Yep.
Michael Pittman Jr., Brock Purdy, and Cole Kmet. All fantastic picks for round 13.
Fantastic picks.
I mean, you're talking top 10 in their positions.
Yep.
Round 13, that's nuts. The Fs I had were Riggy Riggs, Austin, and Team Calendar. With Odell Beckham Jr., Juju Smith-Schuster, and Jamal Williams being very rough picks.
Yeah, but Jamal Williams is a funny guy.
He is a good fun guy, you know. He likes his anime.
Yeah.
I like him. I like the guy.
Respect.
Round 14, no A+ awarded, but I did have some Fs, 3 Fs.
Who'd you give Fs for?
Calendar, Touch of Downs, and Alan DeGens.
Yep. Sounds about right.
That's round 14. Oh, wait. We're talking round 14, right?
Yep.
No, yeah, I did not give Alan DeGens I gave him an A. That was Jordan
Love was round 14.
Middleburg
Great
football team, Touch of Downs, Asa.
Okay.
Middleburg football team walked away with Jimmy Garoppolo. Asa with Zach Ertz. And what was the other F? Touch of Downs walked away with
Treylon
Burks.
Who the fuck even is
Very
Treylon
bad pick. I think he finished wide receiver 121. Very good.
Hell of a season for the young man.
Hell of a season for the boy.
Dalton Schultz, honorable mention.
Dalton Schultz, I gave an A-. Great pick. He was better than Darren Waller, who I picked up in like round 6 or some shit.
Yeah.
Round 15, only 1 A+ awarded. And that was to Coy's, Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
Great pick.
Great pick, round 15.
Great pick.
Never would have seen it coming.
No.
Old man Adam Thielen having a great season. Volatile man on a volatile team.
That's true. More than a Thielen, I also gave a A- to for Dalton Kincaid. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah. Good season.
Good season.
Fair
and only
respect.
one F.
Only one
Guess the F.
Kyler Murray?
Nope, it was unfortunately Calendar again with Sky Moore. Kyler Murray. What did Kyler Murray get? Touch of Downs.
How many points did Kyler Murray put up?
Got D. Well, he was hurt until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, why the fuck would you pick him? Well, I guess if he came back and then he played well,
I think
that's a different story. But he came back.
I think he did play okay, averaging almost 20 points a game.
Okay, yep. So we put up 17, 21, 20, 11.
Now 11 sucks.
And now he's on bye. When he needs him the most, he's on bye.
Yeah. Ain't that the flex?
Ain't that a bitch, dude? Ain't that a bitch?
That's the truth. But yeah, that round 13, 14, 15 is really what brought down your overall letter grade with 3 Fs in a row, those rounds.
Yep. And hey, man, some of those are toss-ups. Not all of us can find those diamonds in the rough. I didn't put in the work. I didn't put in the preparation. That's all it is. I didn't find any studs down there. But here we've got round 16.
Got 2 A pluses for this
where
round.
We got Nico Collins coming in for Big Vet.
A plus.
Great pickup round 16. Young man has had a great season alongside Tank Dell.
Showed out for sure.
And then CJ Stroud.
A plus. I wish I kept him on my team. I opted.
You can't give yourself an A plus. You drafted him 6 days later.
So that's fair. So I did not account on like if these guys are on your team, what they did. I just who drafted them. You get that letter grade for that draft on the value. Because, dude, I wish worse than anything that I remember it was like week 2. I needed to pick someone up on the free agency. I could drop Ryan Tannehill or I could drop CJ Stroud. And this was before CJ Stroud started going off. And I dropped CJ Stroud. Kicking myself in the ass on that one.
Number 5 QB.
Number 5.
He was at the time. Yeah.
2 Fs for that round, though. Touch of downs and 3 Snow Bunnies, touch of downs, and Austin.
Jeff Wilson Jr.
Tough. F.
Darnell Mooney.
F.
Who the fuck? And then DJ Clark Jr.
F.
Yeah.
I also had I'm lying, dude. I had 5 Fs in round 16. Allen and Middleburg football team also got Fs.
Rondale Moore.
Yep. Bad.
F. And then Quentin Johnson.
F.
Yeah.
Yo, that was I think. If not for those 2 A pluses, that's bar none the worst round I have.
Yeah.
Bar none.
That's a tough one.
Final round, boys. Here we go.
Raheem Mostert. Number 167.
A plus.
The number 2 running back in the league. John.
Riggy Riggs.
You dropped him in less than a week. I understand, but man, that's tough, dude. That's tough.
Yeah.
Less than a week. You didn't even give him a week.
That is extremely tough. I did have an F for Coys as well, rocking Michael Gallup. And not for nothing, but I had Ravens defense finish really well. I gave him an A plus for the last round pickup.
Respect.
And CC and Snow Bunnies also had Fs. I got Jalen Hyatt and Alan Lazard for Snow Bunnies. But that was the draft recap on the situation. I figure, did you do anything that like who had the best draft? Any numbers that way?
I did. I've got a little bit of a summary here. Coys, according to the PAM numbers, you had 6 good draft picks, 4 stinkers, and your overall PAM per round was 2.9. Middleburg football team, you had 5 good picks, 5 stinkers, and your total PAM per round was negative 12.9.
That's tough.
Don't worry, you weren't the team with the worst PAM per round. And that's not an average of your PAM per round, that is the sum of your PAM per round. That is the total amount. If you had negative, you know what I mean. Honorable mentions. I don't want to go through all of these. If you want to know what your team scored, if I don't mention it, just hit me up. I got it in a Google sheet. Riggy Riggs with a negative 15.7 PAM per round. That's the worst one out there. Granted, this only went through round 10. I didn't go through round 17. Obviously, Raheem Mostert would have bumped it up, but you didn't even keep him, so it doesn't fucking matter. My best... I'm not going to go there yet. The total number of good picks, according to the number crunching, Captain Commish with 8 good picks. Through rounds 0 through 1 to 10. 8 good picks, and then I had multiple, 3, according to my numbers, great pickups. There's probably more that I missed just because...
The later rounds.
Yeah, but like some absolute phenomenal pickups in the later rounds.
Do your mock drafts, boys. I'm not lying when I say I do 50.
Do your mock drafts. Shout outs to Baked Vet and Allen's Degenerates for having 7 stinker picks in the first 10 rounds. Yeah, dude, that's tough.
That's
tough. That's tough. I came in last place, but I had a better draft than y'all, so.
Got him. I respect it. Yeah, I'll take a picture of my final stats, and I'll add that in on the edits. But yeah, that's been an episode, final Confiding of the Commish episode. I did forget to mention when I first started, I went 5 for 5 on predictions last week, so I'm now at 69.1%, and the guess is at 67.5%. So if Asa beats me and I fall on my face, it should be a close match.
Do you think it's going to flip it?
I don't think so.
Is it close enough that
we had 3 of the same picks, I think. Okay. So
it's
only 2.
It's only 2?
The 2
that
that we
flip
could.
It.
I don't think it'll flip. But that's been an episode, boys. Been a great fantasy season. Obviously, for playoffs, I'll do Commissioner's Corners. But I'm glad we ended it with this. This was a great episode, I think.
Looking forward to end of season awards. Looking forward to see how things play out. I will be cheering you guys on from the sidelines.
Absolutely, and we will be looking forward to looking at the calendar that you produce. And that's been an episode, boys. Have a good one.